Jordan, where do you guys go from here after something like this?
Back to the drawing board. Just back to work. Back here tomorrow. Team run at 10. That's where mines are. The game's behind us already. Time to go back and work.
What was anything going through your mind specifically during that first quarter when they exploded, taking a 28-3 lead, where it seemed like after you guys got the field goal, everything that could go wrong did go wrong?
Nah, that's just where you just got to stick together. Tune everything else out. Just go make plays, do the best we can with what we got.
Adam? Ship, back here, it looked like you and Alex were like the last two guys off the field, maybe just heading out of here. The place is empty by then. I mean, what was going through your mind as you walked off the field after this one with pretty much nobody left?
It don't really matter who's in the stands. All that matters is what we got in the locker room. And we were the last two out just because we spent some more time talking to Galloway. That's the coach that recruited us here. So, it's good to see a familiar face like that and just be able just to talk to him because, you go from him being your coach every day to now we can't talk to him because he's coaching somewhere else, so it's against the rules. So, it just was good to just be able to talk to him and just spend some time with him and also Miss Winslow and Hayes as well. So that's all that was.
Jordan, what's the level of unity right now in the locker room? Are you guys still like all in this together, or things starting to splinter in there?
Nah, nobody's splitting. Everything we're doing is for each other. There's nothing else. No matter what's going on, like we just said in there, it's like we know what we're messing up at. We're beating ourselves. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. They were the better team today. It is what it is. We got to move on, and we got to move on together. I can't go out there and just only play for myself. Nobody can go out there and play for themselves. We got to play for each other. That's what we're focused on.
Can I ask you just quick about the jersey you're wearing today, Tyler Kraft, honoring him? What did that mean to you? What can you say about him?
Man, wearing the 13 today definitely meant a lot. To me, Ty Lee was somebody you aspire to be like, somebody you want to grow up to be like. He just fought hard in everything he did, and just the fact that I had the honor to go out here and wear his number and just do what I could at his number and just being able to just hug his family, just tell his family I love him, and it's definitely meant a lot to me. And I wish we would have had a better outcome. But, things happen, and I'm just blessed that I was able to go out there and just do what I could in his number, just represent him and his family as good as I could.
Hey, Jordan. So Max got his first start today, and before the game, he was hyping you guys up. He looked like he was really into it. What do you have to say about him finally getting his chance to start since the last time he was injured?
It's just God's work. He had a gruesome injury. Not too many people come back from that, but Max is a hard worker, so definitely shows the hard work that he's put in, and I'm super happy for him, and I feel like he did a great job. Max came in and took control in a time of uncertainty. So that just shows his dedication to the work that he's put in.
Jordan, you were also the first one out to see Mitch when he was on the field. What did it mean to you guys to see him out there and standing and sort of being with you guys?
It meant a lot, man. Mitch, he's been going through a lot. That was my first time seeing him not at his house in a long time, and it just felt so good to see him there, and it just makes you just want to play so much harder because, just like he had a great relationship with Ty Lee as well. And just both of those guys are just two people that, I wish everybody knew their story just because of how they carry themselves in a way that they fought through what they're fighting through. You see Mitch out there, if he didn't have the walker and stuff, you would have known he wasn't in pain. He's going through a lot, and he still calls on me to check on me, make sure I'm good when I should be doing that to him. He's battling for his life. I'm out here playing football games, and that just shows that everything he does is for us and not for himself. He's living for us, and that's just powerful, and that's just somebody that I just would do anything to help him. But love Mitch.
Coach talked a lot about execution fundamentals. Why do you feel like those haven't been up to you guys' standards the first 5 games of the year?
To be honest, I don't know why. That's just something we got to really hone in on. That's something that Coach stresses, and that's just something that we just got to get through our heads. Now it's on us to go out there and do it. Now, Coach has told us fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. We hear it over and over. So now that's on us to go out there and do it, and I feel like that's on me as well as a captain to really just make sure that my guys are just we're doing what Coach wants us to do. So that's something that I'll also take blame in for sure.
Jordan, how do you balance not letting a loss like this linger, but being able to learn from things from this game and move on?
For me, I feel like it's all about what you do after. After this, I'm going to go shower. Some of my boys from my high school are outside waiting for me. I was just in there with my mom, my dad, my nieces and nephews, my brothers. It's just what you do after. I just got a great support system around me and also my teammates. After this, we're going to go home. I go home with one of my teammates, my roommate, you know, go home, spend some time with him. We're just going to go back and just relax. Like now, the game's over with. You got to spend the rest of the day. You can't just be thinking about football all day, or that's when problems come. At some point, you got to detach and just release and just let go of everything. So, you know, probably go home, get on 2K, to be honest with you. Just go home, just relax. Now it's just the game's behind us. What happened. Now we just got to pick that up on Sunday.
Yeah, Jordan, obviously I know you hadn't had a chance to look at this one in particular, but in the losses you guys have had, it seems the offense kind of, after the first couple of quarters, stalls out. It's hard to kind of put points on the board.
Yeah.
Just you being out there detecting it, what have you kind of noticed as common threads in those games that kind of keeps you all from, I guess, keeping up from those points?
Like I said ourselves, we're not locked in on fundamentals, and that starts up front, running backs, quarterbacks, receivers, all of us. We're not all playing on one accord. So it's not one person to blame. It's not a coaching problem. It's everybody, everything all together. Like I said, we're gonna win together, we're gonna lose together. We gotta be ready to take the blame together. So all of us are just ready to put our best foot forward and going into Cal.
Time for one or two more. Let's go to David and Brian. Jordan, obviously not the performances you wanted to put on tape to start the season, and I know the general manager had written a letter to donors suggesting it's a rebuilding season and to show patience. How do you, looking at where you've been so far and what you still have in front of you, how would you define success for the rest of the season for you guys?
To be honest, I'm not worried about rebuilding. I'm not here to rebuild. I'm here to win football games. You know, that's why I'm here. That's why I stayed here. I'm here to win football games. So whatever they're doing with the donors or doing with whatever, that has nothing to do with me. I'm here to win football games, and that's where my 100% focus is on. You know, just here to win football games and get to that next level.
Jordan, obviously against Power 4 teams, you guys haven't been that great. Do you get a sense that there's some changes needed around here, whether it's personnel or play calling or anything like that, as a player who's living it day in and day out? Do you feel like there's some things you could change to help what's going on?
I mean, believe it or not, we've only been playing together for 2 months now. I mean, not everything is going to go perfectly good, you know. Like, we've been playing together for 2 months. Everybody's still, like, yeah, it's game 5? But, like, we're still, like, we've been on the field together for 2 months. Like, we're going against, like, teams, you know, this is a brand new team, brand new culture, brand new everything. Everybody's still getting used to all that. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, it's not an excuse. You got to go out there and just win football games. So, you know, of course, that's something that plays into it. But at the end of the day, we lost. No matter who we win to, lose to, whatever, win or loss, it is what it is.
Perfect. Good stuff, Jordan.
Appreciate y'all.
Can you talk about, you found out you were start off the game moments before kickoff. How did you adjust to that, knowing that you were ready to go right away, stepping in for Gio?
I think just having my mind always, ready. From being ready physically, mentally, staying in it always. From beginning of the week to the end of the week, I'm always in it. I'm always prepared to be the starter and ready to roll. So I'm blessed to be here, and I was ready to roll.
Dave? Max, 28-3 after the first quarter. I'm sure that takes you out of the game plan that you were hoping to run for most of this. How much did you feel like you were able to kind of showcase what the offense would look like under you versus just you're kind of put behind the 8 ball early on?
Yeah, I mean, of course you don't want to be behind that much, just in general. But at the same time, it doesn't matter what the score is. We got to put our best foot forward no matter what and keep going. That, in our minds, we're thinking, okay, score 0-0, just go, just work, doesn't matter. So we just got to, come together as a team better, play more complementary football, and, just bring out the best versions of ourselves.
What you've seen so far, whatever lies ahead, how would you define what success is for this team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, of course, when you think of success, you think of wins. So that's our goal. Our goal is to win, each and every single week. We have a bye week coming up again, which will be good to have, just to kind of reset again, and kind of get our mind, focus on the next, next opponent, and be ready to go.
Jeremiah? Yeah, Max, what did you feel, kind of being out there and being in it? What did you kind of feel Clemson was doing to, disrupt the rhythm a little bit as an offense and kind of keep you guys from, keeping up the command and scoring stuff?
Yeah, I think that we had on our first 4 possessions, we had the ball inside the 10 twice. So being able to kind of figure that out in that moment, I thought we had some good drives that we put together. Didn't finish in a touchdown or a field goal, which we needed to do better, getting across the 50 and finishing drives. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, they're a good team. Their record doesn't speak for itself. They got really good players. So do we. But we got to come together and get ready to work.
Brian? When did you find out you would be the starter, and were you told that was because of Gio's injury or that it's your job now?
I kind of found out later in the week, just kind of The whole bye week I just had, just working the whole time. Didn't really know the whole time, and then towards the end of the week, kind of figured it out and knew I was going to get the nod, and kind of was locked in and ready to go. Got the guys going, so that's about it.
Max, so I know, obviously, when you guys are trailing big throughout most of the game, you guys are now forced to throw the ball more, and you could showcase kind of what you've been working on. Granted, I know y'all didn't score a touchdown too late, but what did you being able to throw the ball so much today showcase what you can do in the future to hopefully lead this offense to more success?
Yeah, I think just making the right decisions each and every single play. Each play is its own entity. Just being able to understand the coverage, where the ball needs to go. People think that they see a guy running wide, open down the field. They think that's the read. It's just depends on what the play is called, and then just being able to lead the guys, lead the O-linemen, lead the receivers, bring everybody together, and not get too high, not get too low, but at the same time we got to go out there and score points.
AJ?
You said a minute ago, get your minds right. When if you go back to pre-TCU and you think about the optimism and the hype and everything else and the way things have played out, how challenging is it for you guys collectively to get your mind, given things have gone much more off course than an adverse way than anybody expected? Certainly, I would imagine you guys.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, getting your minds right, your mind should always be ready. You're working 8 months of the whole year to get to fall to play football. So if your mind's you always stay ready to play the game. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Of course, it's frustrating what happened, but you have to look look forward. So if you look back, you get caught up in the past. You got to look to the future.
But as much as that's the case, I would imagine results like this present an added challenge to that. So as all the guys been around, how do you help them through that? How do you think?
Yeah, I think that you can't. If everybody's so down, then practice isn't good. Then it gets monotonous in the meeting rooms. Like if you're not encouraging each other and bringing everybody up, then what are you doing? Like, why do you play the game of football? I understand life is frustrating, football is frustrating, but at the same time, if you're not encouraging each other, then it's not fun. And you play the game because you love it. So I mean, that's where I stand on it.
Max, why do you feel like the execution for you guys on both sides of the ball hadn't been what you'd hoped it'd be at the start of the season?
I think we just gotta continue, like I've been saying the last few weeks, is to get on the same page. That's what we need to do. From run plays, pass plays, everything in between. So just playing more complementary football.
And have you seen them missing from this team compared to other teams you've been on, whether it be here or elsewhere?
I'm not too worried about where I've been in the past. I'm more focused on where I'm now. Just leading these guys and being the best version of myself now, and every single time I step on the field.
Max, I had a question along those lines. There are people that are pointing out what's wrong with this team, and some are saying it's a lack of talent. You've played some big boy football in your career. Do you think that there's just not enough talent on this team?
No, I would not say that. I believe in our guys. I believe in our team. I came here for a reason. And this is where I want to play. So I'm trusting the coaches, trusting our players. We got to go out there and play better.
Like leaning away towards the question of talent or not, do you think the bye week had any effect on the team's momentum coming into the week if you guys really caught off your feet, in the outcome of the game?
Yeah, I think that the bye week was helpful for everybody. I think that it kind of, again, helped us get some rest, get everybody's bodies back, and it kind of gave us some time to, what do we need to do as a team? What can we do better as a team? Offense, defense, special teams, everything in between. So I think it was helpful to have the bye week, and I'm sure this bye week will be helpful as well.
And last one for Dennis here. When you guys aren't able to finish drives like we talked about earlier, how does that shape your confidence out there on the field when you see 28-3 going into the second quarter and you're like, well, we're not finishing drives? How easy is it to question yourselves? It's easy to say, I know that we believe in trusting ourselves, but when the scoreboard is saying something else, how difficult is that?
True. If you get down, then it just gets worse. So if you get down, then you stay down. So that's why you got to completely change your attitude and change your mindset on each and every drive. Look the guy to the left and the right and be like, hey, let's go do it on this one. So if you give up in the first quarter, then nothing's ever going to change. But if you don't give up and keep pushing forward, and then you have a chance.
Perfect. Good stuff, Max. We appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Describe today and this season for you guys so far.
I'll describe it as we just gotta work. We gotta do our jobs and keep playing. I feel like it's a lot more football to play, so we got a lot more things to do.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, Jaden, I know obviously you haven't had a chance to, really look at it as far as film and everything like that, but obviously that first quarter, Clemson was kind of able to do their thing in terms of passing game. What do you think was kind of breaking down in the secondary and allowing them to get as many explosive plays?
It was really, we just really needed to do our job. People, as a whole, we weren't as locked in. I would say we got to just keep working at doing our job and executing throughout the game.
Front row here?
You guys, the defense allowed almost 400 yards, 399 yards passing. Can you talk about what happened?
I was just, again, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. It's just like on the small plays, there was a couple plays we just didn't execute and do our jobs, and miscommunication, and that's what led to a lot of yards.
David?
I know your general manager had written to donors suggesting that the season was a rebuild and to be patient with the program. I'm curious how that resonates with you inside the locker room and what you would set as your expectations for the remainder of this season.
I wouldn't say it's a rebuild. We still got 7 more games, all ACC play, so I'm pretty confident in our team. We're going to work during this bye week and keep playing.
Andrew?
Jaden, you said a minute ago some of the guys weren't locked in or collectively weren't locked in. What do you mean by that, and where did that show up on the field?
I was going to say, like, not locked in as a whole. I was just saying, like, we was getting focused on making plays instead of just letting the play happen.
Do you think that at times when a bad play happens, this team, especially defensively, kind of allow it to snowball for a few plays and have a little difficult time regrouping?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I would say, like, as a whole, as a defense, we always next play, we just leave the last play behind. We just play to play.
Pat?
It was 35-3 lead at halftime. What are you guys saying to each other, just players amongst each other then, and then after the game even, kind of what's kind of the mood of the conversation?
We were just saying it's a whole nother half to play. We just gotta, the worst is behind us. We just gotta keep playing, play by play, and making plays.
How about after the game? I mean, like, call a player meeting. It just feels like kind of like an inflection point right now.
After the game, we were saying similar things, like just a couple plays that really messed us up, and we just got to keep working and work on this off week.
Aiden?
So, I know, obviously, going off of that at halftime, I know the score is what it was. Granted, I know Clemson did insert its backups late in the third quarter, but still, I mean, you all held them with 3 points in the second half. How is that a building block to showcase, kind of what you all can do in showcasing, how you all played well in games against like TC or Charlotte and Richmond?
I would show it shows we got heart. Like even when we was down, third quarter, like they still had all their starters in. We just kept balling. So that's what.
Anything else for Jay?
Nope. Dennis? That very first play, they run the trick play, 75 yards. How much did that rattle you guys?
Can you repeat the question?
The very first play of the game, they run the trick play, goes 75 yards. How much did that rattle you guys?
I'll say it didn't really rattle us. Again, like we play by play, so that's in the past. We just gotta keep working.
Anything else?
All right, perfect. Coach will be out in just a moment.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Appreciate it.